Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bark Night Podcast. This is your host, Patrick, and I have Dan Carter here with me today.
Hello, everyone.
This is episode 35, and today we are going a little bit more unstructured than usual, and we are just talking primarily about just all the different news things that have happened lately. So we're going to kick it off talking about the Marvel Avengers Doomsday announcement that came out over the weekend. And, we're going to spend a little bit of time on that. And then I have a bunch of other pieces of news that are floating around that we want to get talking about.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's a trailer for the movie going into production. I don't think I've ever seen one of those, but it definitely got the hype meter going.
It definitely did. If you haven't seen that trailer yet, please go watch that. It is everywhere. Avengers Doomsday casting announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dan, would you like to kind of describe what the announcement was, what it entailed?
Right. So it started with the back of Chris Hemsworth's, because you've seen the movies, I'm sure, at least at some point. On the set of movies, people have specific chairs with their names on it. It's kind of a thing they do. I don't even know if it's actually a thing they do. It's just a thing that they tell us they do in movies. So it starts off with Chris Hemsworth's name in the back of the chair. And then it builds off from there. There just be name after name after name after name. And it's just telling you that this movie is going to have so many characters you already know and love in it. And not just the Marvel ones you expect to be in an Avengers movie. You expect to see, the new Captain America. You expect to see the new Falcon, Thor, those characters popping up. But to a little bit of a surprise, but I mean, we knew it was coming. They had Fox X-Men characters, the actors, I should say, but they had them in there as well. So just a breakdown of all these names, all these recognizable names that you've seen in Marvel properties, and it's just like, hey, it's coming.
Yep. So I have the list pulled up right here, so I will just read right down this, and we can kind of talk about what we think of each of these. So first up, Chris Hemsworth. We all knew that one was coming, right?
He's
not been going anywhere for a little while.
Yeah, no, he's the franchise right now. He's the most bankable character. I don't know. Well, I would say probably. If you're gonna have a movie at the last movie, Iron Man and Captain America's stories kind of ended, you need to have him as like the flagpole for this. That's probably why they had him as the first chair. Is like, this is the one you know the longest. And also Black Widow. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention she also had her story end the last Avengers movie.
Yep, and he's the only one of that original crew that's talked about doing more movies as well.
Mm-hmm.
After Thor: Love and Thunder, he was basically like, "Hey, let's take this back to the drawing board for the next one, and really reevaluate how we do everything." For that one, he did say that we probably joked around and just were having a bit too much fun on this, which awesome when you're making a movie, but it doesn't always translate.
Not on this time.
On the other side of it.
Sorry, it's been well established that I despise that movie. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
We should do like a commentary on that movie sometime.
Oh, geez.
That's one to talk about that we don't like.
Oh God, I really do. There's nothing about them. Well, no, yeah, I was gonna say Christian Bale's gore, but he's in it for like 3.5 seconds, so I can't even say it's a positive.
Right.
Let's not go on this tangent right now. We'll save it for a different time.
Yeah. All right. So next up, Anthony Mackie.
Yep, Captain America.
Everybody expects this.
Gotta have him.
Yep, he just released a movie. It did pretty well at the box office, but I mean, it had a really good first weekend, then it kind of tapered off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what it's at right now, but I don't know that it made its money back. But
I think I saw it crack 300 million worldwide, which that'd be a good sign. You would think, but then again,
you would think if they spent 190 on it, it's not a good sign, though.
That's true, because Harrison Ford ain't cheap. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that interview with him where the guy's like, do you have like a moment where you're just feeling like just absolutely ridiculous? Is there something you tell yourself to, and he's like, that's what the money's for.
Classic. That is so classically him. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Anthony Mackie here. He's coming back. Yeah, it's to be expected. He's one of the easy ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As I said, the new Captain America, you have to have him in this movie, or else it'd be weird.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably be
Yes, he'll probably be Bark.
That's my dog. He'll probably be either running the team or like almost like a co-captain with Chris Hemsworth type of thing. Next up, we have Simu Liu.
Shang-Chi.
Yep, and yeah, we haven't seen him
No,
at all.
it's almost a tragedy, not a tragedy, a travesty that we haven't seen him since the Shang-Chi movie. He hasn't popped up in any other property that Marvel's put out, and it sucks. Like, it's been a long time, and like, I really like Shang-Chi. It's annoying that this is taking so long for him to get a second appearance, I'll go with.
Yeah, and he really, it's even more disappointing because they end it sort of on a cliffhanger where he gets picked up. Him and Aquafina get picked up by, I think, who is it? Is it Bruce Banner?
No, it's Wong. Wong comes and gets him, and then they have a
Yeah.
meeting. They have a meeting with Bruce Banner.
Yeah, and so they kind of go off and they hint at some, going off on an adventure together and never been followed up
Nope.
on.
Nope. You thought maybe that would be like the lead into the Avengers movie would be him getting more into the hero world of that universe, but no, he's just been apparently singing karaoke somewhere. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
very strange. All right, so next up we have Vanessa Kirby.
Yep, that is Sue Storm. For those who don't know, the Invisible Woman. She's playing in the Fantastic Four movie upcoming this year. She's also been in the Mission Impossible movies. Excited to see what she does with Sue Storm. Good actress, and yeah, looking forward to her being part of this whole thing now.
Yeah, Vanessa Kirby is a great actress, and yeah, you're right. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does with it. Her movie's not out yet, so she ain't dying in it.
I don't.
But I don't think anybody ever imagined she was going to either. So
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
not going to kill Sue Storm in her first appearance. So
or will they? They're not.
they're not. Next up, Florence Pugh.
Yep. Did they ever call her a White Widow, or is that just me calling her that?
I don't think they have.
No, she's the next Widow in the MCU. I guess there's a bunch now, aren't there? But she's the next most notable one.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
It's basically like you turn around, you see a Widow in the MCU now.
Yep. So she is a massive actress right now, and I think they really are going. I mean, what great casting for her,
Mm-hmm. Oh, they nailed
So
it.
I think they're going to try and build some franchise around her, similar to the way they did in the past, because she's one of the strongest actresses they have here.
Right, and they had her show up in the Hawkeye show, and you thought maybe there'd be something leading that way. Maybe they do like a young or all female Avengers or a young Avengers or something, but nothing's come of that yet either. See what happens here. Yeah, it was a great casting when they obviously brought her in for Black Widow after she had just done Fighting with My Family. I remember her from. And I'm like, oh, she's really good. And then they cast her. I'm like, all right, great casting. So yeah, she's great and excited to watch the Thunderbolts still. Although as you go through these chairs, it feels like our guesses about that movie are kind of spot on. But we'll keep going.
Yeah, I do have a point on that I'll cover eventually here. It sounds like the same point. All right, next up we have Sebastian Stan.
You know, and he's kind of become a face of the franchise. Like after he got introduced in Captain America, Winter Soldier, obviously, and they kind of
Yep.
redeemed him like immediately. Well, not immediately. Civil War, he gets like almost fully redeemed, I'd say, and he's been just kind of not a background character, but an ancillary character ever since. And yeah, it's good to see him continuing on.
Yeah, he's one of those that outside of the MCU has really come into his own as an
He
actor.
has, yeah.
So they would be remiss not to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. Next up, we got Letitia Wright.
Playing Suri. Haven't seen her since Wakanda Forever, which feels like a long time ago, but it probably is not as long as I think. But
yeah, I mean that was what 2022?
was it?
2023? It's I mean it's been I think it was 23.
I think it was
so
23.
It's been almost 2 years.
Because 24 we only had Deadpool and Wolverine come out.
Yep, and in 23 I think we had like 4 movies come out.
Right. The Marvels.
We had Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Quantumania. Yeah, you're right. Nailed it. All upper tier movies. Guardians 3 is very good. I do enjoy that one quite a bit.
Guardians 3 is very good. I mean, I really liked Wakanda Forever too, actually.
I did too. It just sorry. Suddenly got a frog in my throat. I to get some water in a second. But it's
it's pretty sad thinking about that movie.
Man, it's true. Yeah, it's one of those ones that just I watched that I have not gone back to since, and I should. I should watch it again. I think I've seen it since the theater.
I think I watched it once since then. You know, on a note of this, they're talking about Black Panther 3 already. Ryan Coogler's been talking about Denzel Washington saying that he was in talks for that movie.
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
I did. I was wondering, was he confirming it? Was he denying it?
So Ryan Coogler came out and he said nothing has been agreed upon yet. Like they haven't done it, but he said as long as Denzel is interested, I will make it happen.
No, fantastic. That's
So
good
it's
news.
not official, but like basically being like, I'll find a way.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do it. And so Denzel took it a step further and he elaborated on the emotional weight of the first Black Panther movie because I know you're aware, Denzel had done this thing where he was paying for school for certain people, and he actually had paid for acting school for Chadwick Boseman
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. So seeing him come up and become this big actor, he was basically saying the moment he saw him in that movie, to him it was almost like a passing of the torch type of situation. And then, as we know, Chadwick ended up passing away. So
It's really sad. But that's cool. It's really good of him to I guess honor him in this way to say, hey, I'll be in the movie for his memory.
yeah, a little bit of a full circle moment. And I don't think Denzel has done a comic book movie yet. So really cool that he is basically at that point in his career where he's like, you know what, I'll try some new things.
Yeah.
You know, he did the big blockbuster with Gladiator 2
Mm-hmm.
and now doing this. So I think we got some fun years ahead out of Denzel Washington. And I've been a big fan of
Yeah.
him his entire career. So, that, you know, we've gotten some. His action part of his career was really cool. You know, he did all the Equalizer movies, Man on Fire, all of that. And now he's just in the sort of have fun part.
Which is fun. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So next up we have Paul Rudd with the mini chair.
Yep. Yeah, man. Can't get away from him. Should he have died in Quantumania? Probably, but that's all right. Here he is.
Yeah. Do you think the original plan was to kill him?
I don't see how it couldn't have been. The way that movie's structured is supposed to be Kang comes in, Kang wrecks house, Kang's a threat at the end. That's what I thought the plan was. And they're like, well, no.
Yeah. I had seen there are rumors going around that about the original plan for King Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's what this was supposed to be. And basically the rumor now is that Doctor Doom was never going to be introduced in this phase, that he was going to be the big bad of the mutant saga.
That makes sense.
And that for, I think, King Dynasty was going to be like the guys that are introduced in Quantumania.
Right.
And then eventually Quantumania, Jonathan Majors, Kang, comes back and defeats those guys.
Yeah. As like a hero version of Kang.
And then he's He Who Remains.
Yep.
And that's the big bad.
Yep.
So, you know, it's interesting that they were like, you know what, let's just skip all that and skip straight to Doctor Doom.
Right. Right. And we'll see how it goes, but it's worrisome to just kind of change the whole plan on a fly like that.
Yeah, the fact that they brought back the writers of the first phase, that is, I think, the good part of it, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Because the writing has really been what's kind of been off lately.
Yeah. Just calm down on the jokes a bit, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Wyatt Russell.
Yep. U.S. agent.
Another one from Thunderbolts.
Yep. First debuted in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was the government's choice to replace Captain America. Ended up injecting himself with some super soldier serum, doing some not so great stuff, and kind of searching for redemption, which is what Thunderbolts is going to be about, I'm sure. And
Yep.
he's here. He's here for Doomsday.
They're going to be like, see, he's not that bad.
He's not that bad. Yeah, one guy, that's fine.
He only smashed a guy with his shield.
Yes, about the head and face until he didn't move anymore. Yes. Move.
I know, boy. I know. Hey, chill. All right. Next up, we have...
He's excited. He wants to introduce the next
Why
one.
did you do this to me?
He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. He's all right, buddy.
I love you, boy. All right, next up is Tenoch Huerta Magia. I
Yes,
said that wrong.
that is Namor, for those who do not
Yep.
know, who was
Yep.
introduced in Wakanda Forever, was the antagonist there, as he often is in the comics. Atlantis and, oh my gosh, Wakanda don't usually see eye to eye, and they clash a lot. So that was great in that movie. He was great in that movie. I liked the redesign of making them not Atlanteans, even though I just said it. They made him into Teotihuacans, I think, right? Like a South American people.
Yeah, something like that.
But that was a great idea for a redesign, and really, he really stood out, and he was awesome in that. And I've been waiting for that character to come back too. So it's exciting to see him in this one. But I honestly, if we were gonna take money for like which chair name we saw that we were like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Outside of like the big, huge like I did not see them being like, let's put Namor in this next Avengers movie, because it feels like he's just kind of been introduced, was the antagonist of that movie, as I said, and there's been no further development with him.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that too because I don't know where he fits into this, right?
Exactly. Like, is he going to be like a 2-second cameo? Is he working with Shuri now? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? You know, it'll be interesting to see where that one goes, though.
Right.
Yeah. Next up, Eben Moss-Bachrach.
Right. And that is the Thing.
Yep. So this actor, he's been doing a ton of great stuff lately. He was in the first season of Andor. He's in The Bear. The Bear, he is wonderful in. He's a character that you start off hating and eventually sort of come to really like because he has such a cool arc.
Yeah, and we've all seen the trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps. He seems like he's embracing the role. It's got to be hard to do so much acting with CGI, but I'm excited to see what he does with that character too. Like, I think the casting for that Fantastic Four movie is really good, so he should be great in the role.
Yep, I agree.
Because the Thing's got to be a bit melancholy. He has to be, or else it's not the Thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that movie just all around. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so next up we have Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
Chelsea Clinton.
So that was the first, like, oh, okay. Even though at the end of the Marvels he walks in and there's a cameo of Beast. Obviously he's Beast from the X-Men movies. Not a lot of them, but a few. Great casting. Always wanted to see more of the character. Excited that we're going to get to see it in here. Didn't love the CGI on him at the end of the Marvels. Hopefully with a full team working on like more than just a cameo scene of him, he'll look a little better. Or just go back to physical, makeup on a guy.
Yeah. Was he in X2 or was he only in X-Men 3?
X3. He didn't make it. He didn't debut until X3.
Yeah.
And then he's
the best thing to come out of that movie.
He really was. He was great casting, as I said, and they just movies do, but he's great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I do want to see how they sort of include his character and whatever's going on there at the end of the Marvels. Like, I would love to see them dig into that.
Right.
Like, because, like, is it the X-Men universe? Is it, some sort of one in between? I wouldn't be surprised to find out that him and, what is her name?
Oh, the Photon actress?
Yep, and the other one. There were 3 characters in that scene. Monica Rambeau, her mom,
Yep.
is the other one. Is she Captain America in that scene?
Oh, she's binary in that scene.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see all 3 of them come back, and maybe that world gets
swallowed up,
destroyed at the beginning of the movie.
That's possible.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to them wrapping up that thread.
Right. And Kelsey Grammer, we don't have to say anything to sell anyone on that. He's been an actor for my entire life, so well established, well respected, and excited that he agreed to come back for this.
Yes, indeed. All right, next up we have Lewis Pullman.
Right. Lewis Pullman is another one that's going to be in the Thunderbolts. Spoilers, he's going to be paying, I guess it's not really spoilers, they have his name on a chair in a trailer for another movie, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be playing Bob Reynolds, the Sentry, who is one of Marvel's attempts at making a Superman that's hit and miss, but that level of power is the Sentry. So we don't know if the MCU Sentry will be that level, but that's the kind of character he's he is in the comics. Like, he is upper tier strength and durability and everything.
Yeah, and that character has a really cool arc too.
It
So
does.
I'm hoping that they focus on that. Like, I don't know if that'll be the focus of Thunderbolts
It's gotta be,
or
right?
if that'll be like another one. I mean, I would love if it is, but I wouldn't mind either if that's a story that got its own hour and a half, 2 hours, you know?
Right. Because, like, Bob Reynolds isn't, like, the best guy in the world. He's kind of got some issues, but he ends up taking some potion and becoming this godlike figure, I mean to say. So,
Creature.
yeah, it's exciting to see him in the MCU, the character. Lewis Pullman, obviously, I haven't seen too much of him in. He was great in Top Gun Maverick.
You know what's funny? I was going to bring that up. His name's Bob in Top Gun Maverick, too.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
He's typecast as a Bob.
He's like his Bob's. He's trying his best. It's just very exciting.
Yes. Lay down, boy.
Somewhere Lena's just sitting there like, I'm a good girl.
She's on the other side of the door. I heard her like scratch at it a couple times. All right, next up, Danny Ramirez.
Danny Ramirez. He is the actor who in the most recent Captain America movie, Captain America Strange New World, Brave New World? What the heck? It just left my brain. Brave New
A
World.
whole new world.
Something world. There's some kind of world in there. It's new. I don't know.
New World Order.
NWO. Anyways, he was the guy who got anointed as the Falcon, and he is the new Falcon. So in Captain America, they kind of were like, "Hey, you're gonna be back, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't wait."
He's like, I'm not doing anything else, please.
Yes, please bring me back. But yeah, so that's Danny Ramirez. He is new Falcon.
Yeah, he's the only one that people might have been watching the thing and been like, who?
Don't know who that is.
Yeah. Next up, Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn.
Everybody knows Joseph Quinn.
Yep, playing Human Torch in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. Great casting. Pumped to see his version of Johnny. I hope he is as arrogant and risk taking as the comic books. And even like the Chris Evans version of him back in the way back now was really kind of spot on. I always thought that was a good portrayal. So excited to see what Joseph does with it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. Like I said,
We haven't seen it
really,
yet.
really happy with that cast. Next up, David Harbour.
David Harbour, Red Guardian, also from the Thunderbolts, also from Black Widow. The actor more famously from Stranger Things. He's got that coming out this year, so it's going to be a big year for him. Yeah, I enjoy him as Alexi. I think I'm a little worried in the Thunderbolts trailer he's too goofy. I guess in Black Widow he's pretty goofy too. So, but
Very goofy.
Dime Store Captain America. Let's see how he fits. I don't know how he fits in the story. I guess we'll get there. But yeah, good actor. Hopefully he gets a big role in this or gets to do something in this because he didn't do anything in Black Widow really.
No, I said this a couple years ago in our episode on Black Widow. So Black Widow, at the beginning of it, when it takes place like when they're kids, and it's almost like the Americans or something like that, and they play it completely serious. Could you imagine if the entire movie was played like that?
Yeah, it'd been fun. It'd been a good movie. I'm pretty damn sure.
Yeah. Yeah, where it is this family, and they could tell sort of like two concurrent storylines, one that sort of shifts back to the 70s and you know, it's kind of bouncing through the two. And if it wasn't like, you know, because it looked like a spy thriller, which that's kind of what you want with that idea, right?
Right, absolutely.
And it turns into this sort of, you know, nonsense thing where the entire last 20 minutes are them fighting as they fall to the ground. Yeah. And it's like, come on.
And everyone survives somehow.
Right. But having it be more in line with like that, you know,
nitty gritty spy thriller.
Spies in the 70s. And like, man, they could have done so much with that idea.
And now that you think about it, like his character, David Harbour, the Red Guardian itself, he only becomes a goofy idiot after they get him from jail. If he would have been like the character, as you're referencing,
at the beginning,
could have completely different.
Yep. It's too bad.
Missed opportunities.
Yep. All right. So next up, we got Winston Duke.
Winston Duke, M'Baku, who of course has been in both of the Black Panther movies. He was in Us. Great actor. Love him. I am excited to see him continue the story. I don't think we're ever going to get the villainous M'Baku from the comics. The man ape, we're not going to get that, and that's fine. This is one of the characters that the MCU has done a justice to. They've made the character better than his comic book counterpart, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, he gets a little bit of a villainous arc at the beginning in the first half
Mm-hmm.
of Black Panther, but you're right. It never transitions fully to him being the villain and the representation of the comics. And like, yeah, you're right. It's probably best if it's not.
Yeah.
Because I think he's one of those he's one of those actors that you like,
Yeah.
you know.
It'd be like
So
it'd be like if all of a sudden they had Drax show up as like a bad guy. He's like, no one's gonna buy that. No one wants that.
yeah. All right. Next up, we got Hannah John-Kamen.
Right, and that is Ghost, I believe.
That is Ghost.
I did not know that offhand, but I think I remember her having 3 parts to her name.
Yeah. So she is a wonderful actress. She's great in Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
She is also great in. Remember that little movie? I think it's called Unwelcome.
Mm-hmm.
With the trolls. She's solid in that. She's been in a few different things.
She was in the Roadhouse remake with Jake
Was
Gyllenhaal.
she?
Yeah,
I still haven't watched that.
it should be better. It was fine until Conor McGregor showed up, and then I just completely hated every moment after that. Especially every moment with him. He should not be acting. I did not need to see his butt that much. I didn't have to.
A lot of butt in that movie.
Oh, a lot of his butt.
Nice. Yeah, so she is the last Thunderbolts actor to be announced. So, yeah, I mean, if we thought that they were going to kill a lot of Thunderbolts in this movie, they're not.
Nope. It looks like it's just going to be Taskmaster.
It does look to confirm that Taskmaster
Is
ain't surviving this movie.
Is in trouble.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Olga Kurylenko there because I do like her as an actress. She was in Quantum of Solace. She's just had such an unfortunate career.
She has.
Where, yeah, like she got the James Bond movie,
the
which
worst
she
one.
is great in it.
But it's the worst one of that series.
Yes.
The Daniel Craig ones.
I mean, I might still say Spectre.
I always forget Spectre exists.
I think I might like Quantum of Solace more than Spectre. Having watched it, remember I watched it not too long ago, and I was like, for a little while, I was like, oh, this is great. It's got a great introduction. And so you're like, oh, yeah, we're off to the races. And then 45 minutes later, you're like, wow. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I guess maybe I should rewatch those, but I remember just being like, that was a snooze fest of a movie. I didn't like it.
I like Daniel Craig in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like her in it. But I think it's hampered by the villain, who I don't much like.
I don't remember him. He wasn't the one that cried or anything like that, right? Or was he the one that was crying all the time? Like, that doesn't matter. We're Marvel talking.
Yeah, but I think he's like an Elon Musk style
absolutely
villain, isn't he?
I think so. And he has like, yeah.
Maybe it'll age well.
No.
All right. Next up, we got Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston needs no introduction. That is Loki from everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did not think they're going to bring him back until Secret War. I thought Secret War, which is supposed to be the end of the multiverse phase, is that what they call it, whatever. I thought that's when we would see him again, but nope, he is going to be in this.
Yeah. So, I don't know what they're doing there unless the arc for him that I predicted, which would be the end of his arc, is what they do here, which is completely possible. I mean, that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
If he's like the keeper of all the strands and everything, and then Doom comes in and blows the whole thing up and kills him, and
if Doom wants to make it like in the comics where he tries to make the battle world where it's every world and he controls it all, who would be his biggest target in the MCU? It would be Loki, the guy who, as you said, has the strings of everything. So
yeah,
that could be the first scene, is just him versus Loki, and then that would establish how powerful Doom is too. And I'm pretty sure we just figured out what the first scene in the movie is, so that's cool.
I would like, if that's how they do it, I want a scene with Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, one final scene where Thor realizes that Loki turned that corner and the only reason the universe has survived for this long is because of his sacrifice. Like, I want Thor to see that.
Yeah.
And I want them to have a moment where he tells him he's proud of him or whatever it is,
Yeah. Hopefully we get it.
I mean, it would be a unique way to do it because it's almost a mirror of Infinity War, right?
Right.
Where
Yeah.
that's how they kick off Infinity War. And for them to do that same thing here, they could do it, especially in an opening scene. Once again, they could do it
Because
in a unique way where it is like the other side of that coin. So yeah, I think that might be it. I think that might be the first scene of the movie.
we'll see. It's a good guess to get out of this.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Patrick Stewart, Big Dog.
Big Dog needs no introduction. Obviously, Professor Xavier from the Fox Marvel movies. We have seen him in just so many. Like he's got to be up there for like most Marvel properties we've seen him in. Like between the X-Men universe, popping in Doctor Strange and Logan, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't say enough about the man. I'm happy he agreed to do it. Like, cause at a certain point, you just gotta be like, I don't want to do that anymore. But I don't know how much money they threw at his feet. But yeah, it's exciting to see him come back and get a proper like MCU appearance. He was cool in Multiverse of Madness, but that was just a one-off
Mm-hmm.
murder spree for reasons.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him like go off.
Yeah.
As Professor X
Yeah.
one more time, like really see him get into a battle, because I mean, for what it's worth, we haven't really seen him in like a battle, right?
No.
Like he's had little skirmishes where he's doing stuff, but we haven't really like, usually he's fighting to end the conflict.
Right.
But if they really get into a situation here where he's using all of his might to battle a giant army or whatever it is, you know.
That there's a giant army and he like controls a couple of them to fight against the army, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You know my favorite Patrick Stewart line?
Next time I feel like showing off, don't. No.
The line must be drawn here.
Star Trek.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, so just to follow up right off Patrick Stewart, we got Ian McKellen.
Yep.
Just talking about this last episode, how much we wanted to see him, so it's official. He's coming back. He's probably shooting right now, and he's hanging out with these guys at wherever they're shooting this and having a good time, and it's great to see him back.
Yeah, and again, just like Professor Xavier, exciting to see, because we didn't have him obviously in Doctor Strange as a cameo. To give him an MCU role
since
Days of Future Past. Wow, okay, that's been quite a bit then. But yeah, he Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job as Magneto, but he is the quintessential Magneto.
You mean Michael Fassbender?
What'd I say?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ignore that.
You're like, please edit that out.
Yeah. Michael Fassbender did a great job as Magneto. That's what I said the whole time.
He really was so good in that.
Yeah.
It's like we said, the casting of Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart in those original movies, they were the lifeblood of those movies.
It's perfect casting.
Yep. Speaking of perfect genius casting, Alan Cumming.
Mm-hmm. That is a name that our buddy Vin was quite excited to see, because he did not think he'd ever see it again. He thought he had to wait for, the mutants to properly be in Marvel before they would ever even think about having Nightcrawler show up. But we are getting the X2 standout, Alan Cumming Nightcrawler, and that is got me a little pumped, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but because like I said, I think we were just talking about our favorite movies of 2003. That opening scene is one of the best scenes in any movie, comic book or otherwise. It's exciting for him to get another chance. So, yeah, that's big news. That I was like, oh yeah, when I saw that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. He nailed that part, and that's the only one he was in, right? Is X2?
Yeah, there's like
one and done.
I think it's like a video game, maybe like a PlayStation 2 game, like Nightcrawler's Escape or something weird like that. But yeah, movie wise, that was it.
Yeah. And then we got Rebecca Romaine.
Not Stamos anymore.
Coming back as Mystique.
Yep. Guys of a certain age are very excited about that. Nah, it's great. Like, that's a character too. Like, I'm sure when they were talking about, well, who can we bring back? Who should we bring back? They're like, we got to get her in here, because I don't know if Jennifer Lawrence wanted to play ball.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Jennifer Lawrence is probably good on these movies, But hey, you never know.
It's true. It feels like they're doing a lot of.
There's no prequel movie cast announced yet, but
That's
they
what
may do it.
that's what I was gonna bring up. Is that we didn't see any of the prequel movie cast. This is all the first 3 X-Men movies that they're pulling from.
Yeah.
Well, not all, but most.
And in theory, that's a different universe now.
Yeah, in theory.
You know, everything after Days of Future Past it created a
Paradox.
whatever you call it.
Paradox.
No, whatever they called it when the strands
Oh,
timelines.
yep. Something event.
What's interesting too is that like the time travel rules, those movies actually are not the time travel rules of Avengers Endgame.
Right.
And like honestly, that's completely fine because like, different universes have their own rules and that's how it works. And that's completely fine. They establish that as well, that like those like physics are not the same in each one of these universes. So
yeah,
it's just interesting. Next up, James Marsden.
My boy. James Marsden plays one of my favorite characters, Cyclops, who everyone says is lame, and he's not lame. You're lame. He's great, and we talked about how like some of these characters didn't get proper endings.
Yeah.
I get openly annoyed when I think about how much Fox screwed over his character in X3. Like they just killed him off screen completely unceremoniously, and we never saw him again. So
You see him again though.
oh, the
At the end
Deadpool
of Days
cameo.
of Future Past.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. My bad. We do see him in the Days of Future Past. I had forgotten about that.
He gets brought back, so they fixed so many of their mistakes with that movie.
Yeah, they really
and then
did.
Fixed the rest of them with Deadpool.
Yep. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's how he can be back. And you know who else can be back that they haven't announced yet?
Famke?
Yep, I'm sure they will announce her. I mean, I have to imagine it's going to be, right?
It has to be. Maybe.
Her, Halle Berry. You know Halle Berry's going to come back.
Unless they're saving him for Secret War.
Maybe. But they said that there's more coming out after this, too.
Oh, did they? Okay, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, they said that's not nearly everybody. This movie's going to be massive.
Jesus. We're what, 44 minutes in and we're not even through the freaking list yet?
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Channing Tatum.
I don't know who he's going to play, but I like Channing Tatum. He's an alright actor, Nah, he's of course the breakout. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, he was a breakout star of Deadpool and Wolverine. Gambit, character who famously he had agreed to do a movie series about and then got boned over by Fox as well. And finally got Ryan Reynolds to help him out and get the character going, and now he gets to be an Avenger in an Avengers movie.
Yeah, he did it. He made it.
He made it.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
With him being part of this announcement, I mean, you have to imagine a couple of those others from Deadpool and Wolverine are going to roll in here as well.
Right, someone
You're
else.
Definitely going to get Deadpool. You're definitely going to get Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
So
X-23 will be there.
Yeah, I mean, Daphne Keane she was awesome in that movie. She was awesome in Logan. So it's great. I think they handled how they brought her back very well. I think it leads on from her in that movie to her in this movie very well. And I really look forward to seeing her. I think they got to keep her around.
They
right?
have to. I think she's young enough and made enough an impact that if like we're all thinking after Secret Wars, the Marvel Universe gets smushed together, I bet you she's part of that smush. That's a bad statement out of context.
All right, next up, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, our dude who's in everything. If you don't know who Pedro Pascal is, you must be underneath a rock. No offense, but he's Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, even the little snippets you see from the Fantastic Four trailers, you're like, okay, that's Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, pumped for him, excited, and I don't think it underplays the Fantastic Four movie at all because we know it's set in a different universe that is before like the MCU, so it's blank check for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And then our final one, Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
The one everybody knew was coming at this point.
Right. And then they have him sitting there all coy, and he goes, it's like, okay, it's a secret. I get it, Robert. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
He's playing Doctor Doom, probably, and yeah, it's always great to see him. And Marvel is fully banking that putting the RDJ on it will put the asses back in the seats.
Yep. I don't think at this point they're going to announce Chris Evans. I think they're trying to have that moment with him like they had in Infinity War again.
The Avengers Assemble moment, or
The train station moment.
yeah, love that
You
moment.
remember that?
Oh, who can
That was
forget
so
that?
good.
That was so good, just amazing.
Yeah. So I think they're going to go for that. They might do it in the opposite direction though, and instead of having him, I mean, so they go one of, if not both of these ways, right? They either have a moment like that where it's once again the inverse, where it is an evil version of his actor, you know.
Like Captain
Robert
Hydra,
Downey Jr. is, yeah, so it could be Captain Hydra.
could be Red
It
Skull.
could be, yeah, I mean, it could be any of these things. And you just have that moment of like, oh shit,
Yep,
because you realize it's him. But also, we got to remember that Chris Evans, his Captain America, is bouncing around
that's
this
true.
universe right now, returning the stones and doing whatever before he finally gets back to Peggy Carter.
Right,
So we could have that moment as well.
we could. I mean, you figure we will. Like that's you can't just have him go off in space. And be like, oh no, he came back as an old man now. Now he's gonna go live at Fury's base until he dies. Like that doesn't feel right.
Yeah. And it's only supported by the fact that he hasn't had the most successful career away from these movies either.
Since then,
You
yeah,
know, like
he
Robert Downey Jr. has, dude, won an Oscar between now and then. But yeah, so I bet if we have that moment with Chris Evans, that moment is in
Secret War.
yes, Secret Wars, and that is maybe he's the Black Panther role from the comics
Oh yeah, the guy gets the
where he
gauntlet.
rolls in with a gauntlet. Yeah,
Namor rolls in with him for 4 minutes.
yeah.
Doesn't go well
I
for him.
I, I don't know. I don't know if that part happens. But you know what they have to do here, and they could have this cool scene too. My favorite still from the book is when Doom grabs Thanos
Oh yeah,
and like dissolves his whole body until there's nothing but like the skull and the spine
yeah,
hanging there, and then he just like crushes it into dust.
yeah. There's some great dialogue too before that. Well, not dialogue, but yeah, it's dialogue. Where he's like Thanos is like, nothing can stop me, and then like Doom does that to him, and he's like, that appears untrue or something along those lines, and it's great.
Yeah. So I really hope that they have that
Yeah,
in there, you know, because they really have the opportunity here to do some really cool stuff with all this. So I just hope they do it, you
yeah.
know?
Go for it. I mean, you guys have already spent this money. Go for it. These
Yeah,
actors aren't cheap. Like this lineup of people,
I know.
you paid
This
for it.
movie needs to make a
$1
billion
billion, yeah.
because it's going to cost 500 million.
Oh, easily. And you already said like I imagine the next thing you want to take a couple guesses of Jesus, sorry, of chairs we didn't see, but you know they're coming. Because I have a
Yeah.
couple. All right, first up, Tom Holland. Obviously, they're not going to have this movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think that they're at the stage with Sony where they're negotiating all this right now, and Sony's being Sony
You know them. They're like,
and being
well,
a pain in the butt about the whole thing.
I'm like, well, if you let us make another Venom movie, we'll let you.
Oh, those guys.
But yes, other than him, I mean, you said Halle Berry, Famke Jensen. Those are good guesses. I don't know. Maybe they saved a couple people for Secret War, or maybe they just have Secret War be all new characters. I don't know. But
Well, you know, they could do something really cool and announce Famke and
Holly,
Wolverine
oh,
together, you know, because it'll be, if they did like a version 2 of this, that's what it is, right? It's Halle Berry, Famke Johnson, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, you know, so you
mhm,
got 4 more, Daphne Keene, 5 more from those movies.
Tom Holland, Benedict Wong,
Yep.
Benedict
Hulk,
Cumberbatch.
Bruce Banner. Yep. He's definitely coming back.
Yeah, there's no way they're not gonna do this movie without Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So those guys are coming. So yeah, you're probably right. They probably are saving those guys maybe for like the trailer.
Yeah. I would imagine that there's a version 2 of this
Oh,
announcement.
you think like more chairs or something
I
similar?
don't know if it's more chairs necessarily,
I hope
but
not.
it's a similar idea, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I hope this chairs was just a one-off thing. It was cool. It did its job, but don't do it again.
You think they bring Catherine Newton back as Ant-Man's daughter?
I think at one point that was a big plan. They wanted to have stature be a bigger thing. That's a weird statement. I would be saying I'm going to put that as a low probability. I don't think it's going to be. I think we're just going to get Ant-Man from that series.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Haley Steinfeld.
I mean, they're going to want to keep her stars only get brighter and brighter. They're going to want to keep her involved. So I would not be, her and Jeremy Renner probably will both show up.
Yep.
They'll probably be a tag team as the Hawkeyes and that's from the comics. And I don't know, but they're going to want her to be a bigger part moving forward. So I imagine she'll have a bigger than expected role in this.
Who else are we missing?
Well, Elizabeth Olsen, rumors that she's supposed to be popping back in, but nothing official yet.
I just saw before we got on this call that apparently Marvel has made some comic canon that confirmed that Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch is alive and being held captive by the TVA. Apparently there's a Marvel comic that's out right now that's about the TVA, and they said this is canon to the MCU.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either. I literally just saw the article right before this. So if that's not true, I apologize. I haven't had a chance to vet that, but I literally was just reading about that like an hour or two ago.
What a way to get people to read comics more.
Yeah.
Like you want to be completely up on the MCU.
You have to read our blog.
Yeah, but like, and then you get into like after Elizabeth, you get into kind of like more the Netflix people like Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night,
Oh yeah,
Man Thing, and like those
all our
guys,
defenders.
all the defenders, Luke Cage, Daredevil. Daredevil has a good chance of showing up, but like Luke Cage, Iron Fist,
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, Jessica Jones. Jessica Drew is Spider-Woman, but they haven't done anything with that yet, so I doubt that she'll show up. And there's rumors that they're going to have the Defenders show back up in Iron Fist subsequent seasons, so it's possible they could pop up here.
Yeah. Anybody from the older movies though? You think we get a? I think we get a Nick Cage in one of these, but I think that's one that they saved.
Secret Wars.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They saved that. That's not being announced in a trailer. I don't think.
That's going to be a big.
We have to have some cheering moments.
Exactly. He's just going to come across the screen. It's going to be great. Yeah. So him, Elektra, you alluded to from the Deadpool and Wolverine leftovers. Good chance on that, I think. Wesley Snipes, he's not doing anything. Not to rag on the guy, but I feel like if they offered, he's going to be like, yes. Who else?
You think we get a Kit Harington, or you think they're done?
I think they're going to save that. Or any
Eternals?
That's what I was just going to say. I don't think so. I think this movie's going to happen, and then like they're going to be like, oh, Eternals 2 is going to be straight to Disney Plus or something. I mean, I hope so. I do feel bad for that franchise or those characters or those actors because it just didn't hit. Marvel expected it to be a hit, but it just didn't. And now they don't know what to do with them. But it's not like they're poison. Just have better stories with them.
Right.
And yeah, so I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm sure there's people forgetting, but those are the big hitters. Oh, War Machine, they didn't announce him. I'm sure he'll be in here.
Oh yeah.
That's about it for Scarlett Johansson. There was rumors she's gonna come back as like Madam Hydra, but who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back, and that might be. I hope that if she does, that they save that
for Secret War.
Yeah, well, I don't know if save it for Secret Wars or Doomsday, but like maybe don't announce that one.
That'll probably be our after credit scene in this one. It'll be her, evil Chris Evans, evil Mark Ruffalo, all like, hey, we'll be the next one as bad guys.
Yeah. All right. Cool. You got anything else for this one?
No. We rambled for a while. It was good.
We did. We got a good amount of highway out of that one. Okay. Next topic. YouTube fake movie trailers.
The worst.
Everybody has seen them. This has been a big topic in the news lately. So it was revealed, I think it was Deadline did like a big expose on it, and they were talking about all the people use AI and they have people just making a ton of money off them. And by all accounts, YouTube's terms of use shouldn't allow these to exist.
Right.
So it was recently, there was this big thing done about it. And a part of it was that a bunch of these movie studios saw how much money was being made on fake trailers like this on YouTube. And most of them are made with AI or deep fakes, or taking real footage and mashing it with AI footage and doing weird stuff in weird ways. The movie studios, instead of taking them down and putting copyright strikes against them, asked YouTube to just send the money to them instead.
Really?
Yeah.
That's diabolical.
Yeah. And so apparently in the midst of all these articles going around about it and the whole topic was trending, YouTube finally decided to demonetize those accounts
As you should.
for those videos. Yeah, those videos are so annoying and it's the word, you'll see it for like Titanic 2
Yeah.
and then it's just like it's cobbled together AI footage with like, every boat movie ever made.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad. Holly has gotten victim of it a couple times. She sent me like things like through Facebook Messenger. She's like, "Can you believe they're making this?" I'm like, "They're not."
I see it. It's specifically people that use Facebook all the time
Mhm.
seem to fall for this stuff the most. It seems like
Yeah. She saw
because
like
I see it all the time.
I
Like, oh man, I can't. I please tell me this is true.
I'm like
It's
can't.
not.
It's not true. Sorry. Yeah. There's like
Whatever it is,
there was like
it's
an
not.
Iron Man 4 trailer. She sent me. I'm like, Holly, that's not real.
Yeah, I know. My mom gets caught with those all the time too.
She gets so bummed out too. She's like, "How do you know?" I'm like, I just
This is
do.
what I do.
It
Yeah, so that's an interesting topic, and
is.
we'll see where that goes. But John Carpenter gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Not a
That's
lot to
awesome.
talk about with this one, but I just wanted to, kind of put it out there because we're big fans of his.
We are. Didn't he have a thing with the director of Parasite? He said he's going to do his music for his next movie or something. I think I saw.
Yes.
That's exciting.
So it was recently announced there was a 4K presentation of the thing going on that Bong Joon-ho had introduced. And during this, I watched the video and it's a little clunky the way the whole thing goes down
Mm-hmm.
because Bong Joon-ho doesn't speak English, so he had a translator
Sure.
doing the whole thing. But yeah, basically he was like, "Hey, I would love to have you do one of my movies." And John Carpenter was like, "I would love to do one of your movies." So I don't know if it's his next movie or the one after that,
That's exciting though.
but he's working on finalizing a horror movie, and John Carpenter is apparently going to do the score for it.
How cool is that? That's pretty awesome.
All right, so next piece is that Lee Cronin's The Mummy is officially in production. It's not just an idea of a movie anymore; it is a movie that is happening.
That's really cool. We've gotten some of the classic Universal monsters just keep popping up, and it's good. It's fun. It just shows people like those movies. Like there's always interest in a good monster movie.
Yeah, and this one seems to be leaning hard back in the horror of the franchise. After the action adventure horror that was Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, and then Tom
Cruises.
Cruise's whatever that was that I didn't even watch.
I didn't watch it either. Can't badmouth it, but I feel like I can.
It looked very bad.
It looked bad.
Yeah, so that's in production, and I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Another one that you and I have actually talked about a couple different times since it happened is that the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer.
The
We
real.
finally got the full trailer for it. What do you think about that?
I feel like I am not super. What's the word here? I'm not like, oh, they nailed it. This is gonna be great. I have my trepidation still. I think it looks a little off still, but it doesn't look as like that one trailer that was just the tattoo shop scene. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be
Yeah.
ass. But my expectations went from ass to maybe not ass. Hopefully,
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just go out of their way to make the most convoluted.
yeah,
Oh, we just cobbled all of these movies. It was all connected the whole time,
yeah,
cobbled it together, and I think it's going to get pretty messy.
yeah. My grandmother escaped a space needle crash in the '60s, and now this has been going on since then. It's like, has it though?
And
Can't you do your own
Death was
thing?
just really bad about cleaning things up
Yeah,
back
seems like
then.
he's bad at his job all
And
of a sudden.
it took him 80 years to clean all of this up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
it doesn't seem right. He's deaf, like
he's
literally.
pretty good at it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
been
pretty
doing
sure.
this a long time.
Yeah, so we'll see how they tie it all together. It does seem like I said at one point I thought Robert Downey Jr. being brought back to the MCU is desperate. Them being like, this is the prequel again is definitely screaming desperate instead of like, let's just do our own thing again, our own thing,
Yeah,
start our own story.
right. I am gonna go watch it
Oh
though.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like we've been saying. Like, yeah,
It's one of those movies you can't, like, especially for us. It's one of those movies we gotta go check out, even if it's ass. At least we can say it's ass when they saw it.
right. It's my ass and I want it now.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, new Texas Chainsaw movie in the works with Glen Powell circling to star, with Strange Darlings JT Mullner in talks to direct. You heard about this?
I had not heard about that. Glen Powell just keeps getting work, and I like it. So
Yeah.
obviously that'd be a change from the traditional Texas Chainsaw Massacre where there's kind of a final girl. I don't assume they're going to have him be Leatherface, but you never know.
Well, when I thought about this, I thought he might do something similar to what Matthew McConaughey did in Texas Chainsaw
Next Generation.
Next Generation. Because all these movies, it's Leatherface as like, Leatherface,
Mm-hmm.
but there's usually a human or two that are the bad.
Oh, the Sawyer family?
The sinister, yeah, one on the side. So it wouldn't surprise me if Glen Powell is filling that role.
No, maybe like the new sheriff character, kind of.
Yeah, anything like that.
It's possible. Or he could just be the final guy.
Or it could be that. You truly never know with these movies because, he could be in 5 minutes of the movie and just get sawed in the first, like it's so hard to know.
Yeah.
But my money is on him being the bad guy.
My money's he's the new sheriff / guy who brings the victims to Leatherface. That would check.
Yeah. So yeah, and Strange Darling, I really liked that movie.
I need to watch that one.
So I'm interested in seeing how they decide to do that. I think it'll be a really interesting style. It'll probably be different than anything Texas Chainsaw has done before, and I think that's a really good thing. I think that franchise needs
new
blood.
A
win right now.
They tried new stuff with the last one, and it just was like a wet fart.
Yeah, I didn't watch the last one. That was like straight to Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it, and it was one of those ones you watch, and immediately afterwards you're like, I don't remember most of my last couple hours just watching that thing.
Like, why did I do that?
A couple things pop to your mind. Do you remember like the big moments that obviously are going to pop to your mind? But the rest of it just.
Yep. All right. Speaking of Glen Powell, he is currently filming. Actually, they just wrapped filming on Edgar Wright's The Running Man adaptation with him starring.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So that I saw they posted some production stills. That looks really good, and I'm really excited about that because I think that whole idea is really cool.
Yeah.
But with this one, the contestants are like, they're not stuck in a building. They're like out in the city.
Yeah.
Traversing like the world. So I mean that could be a really cool idea.
It's got high potential to be great. So I'm really pumped for that one.
Yeah, and we're both of us are Edgar Wright fans.
Yes.
So.
And I Running Man was one of my favorite dumb horror movies from way back in the day. So it's a good combination.
But when he signs the contract and then just like stabs it into the guy's back, he's like, oh! And then just like runs away.
It's classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. All right, last piece of news here. This I just saw earlier today. Millie Shapiro and Samantha Sloyan cast as daughter and mother in an upcoming Mike Flanagan Carrie remake.
Really? Carrie's getting another remake.
Yeah, with Mike Flanagan, the Stephen King whisperer.
Well, that's interesting. I had not heard that yet.
Yeah, so Millie Shapiro is the girl in Hereditary, the daughter.
The one gets her head taken off?
Yeah.
Spoilers for Hereditary, but I don't like that movie, so I'm saving you.
Samantha Sloyan, she's been in all of Flanagan's Netflix stuff. She was the... Have you seen Midnight Mass?
No. I know. Hey, I got the Fire Stick up in my room now. I can just watch Netflix when I'm laying in bed, so maybe that'll help me start knocking some of the stuff off the list.
Yeah, that's like her most notable role. Did you see her in... So you didn't see Midnight Mass, you didn't see Midnight Club, and you didn't see... Well, her most prominent roles are in all three of those. So
yeah, that could be a thing. Sorry, I'm no help on this one.
No help. But she plays a really evil character.
Nice.
Pretty consistently.
Well,
and
Carrie's mom's kind of evil.
Yeah, and I think she's really going to nail it. If her in... Honestly, you should start Midnight Mass tonight.
Maybe I will.
She's really great in it.
Can you hear the dog toy in the other room?
I can hear it. All right, so that's all I got for news. So let's jump into the physical media showcase here. You want to go first?
Yes. So my piece of physical media showcase is actually a collection of comics for Critical Role's Vox Machina series. It's the series 1 and 2 collection. So this big old bad boy, where it has just no, there's some not safe for work stuff in there, so I won't open it up and show. Let's see. This one's all right. So there's really pretty artwork, and it's yeah. So like an origin comic book series that gives you the characters and how they came about. Then I think the show touches on some of the stuff in here. But I got this for a really good price and pulled the trigger on it. So excited to dig in this
Nice.
bad boy. It's a
Yeah, that's a fun one.
it's a big old boy.
It's a big boy.
Big
It's
boy.
a thick
It's a thick boy.
boy. Nice. So I got The Godfather Part 2,
Nice.
4K Steelbook.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this artwork, absolutely beautiful. Like, you just look at that thing.
Mm-hmm. You talk about movies as movies as an institution. Like The Godfather is one of those things that, yeah, that's cool. That's really awesome. You got to watch it at least once. Like even if you don't think you like that style of movie, yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, The Godfather Part 2 is one of my favorite movies. If not, it's very close to my favorite movie of all time, depending on how I'm feeling that year.
That's a big thing.
It's a top tier movie. And I mean, the first one is so good that the fact that they could continue that story and tell the concurrent story in the past with Robert De Niro and do it all in such a just really well done way. It's so impressive. You know,
It
it's
really
one of
is.
my favorite movies. So
They pulled it all off too. Like before, like I mean, there's sequels and such, but like world building really wasn't a thing that a lot of people considered. I don't think.
yeah, I mean, there weren't a lot of sequels back then, right?
No, not like it is today, where movies even like half a hit and they'll get a sequel.
Yep. Yeah. So I got that one, and I'm very excited about it.
That's a cool one to have.
And now I just got to get the first one. But yeah, those 70s and 80s style movies just look so good on 4K. So
You know, I don't have any of the Godfathers now that I think about it.
you should get them.
Yeah, might as well get my 4K because that's the way to do it now.
That is the way to do it now. All right. Well, that's all I got for today.
Same here.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining me, Dan.
Of course, buddy, anytime.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Wherever you are listening to this, please throw a like, or if you're on Spotify, a 5-star review makes a world of difference. You know, a like, a share, anything you can do makes a difference.
Yeah. But
Please
tell your friends about it, tell your family about it. Listen to us.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining us this week, and we will see you next week.